Oh, there he is.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Voice in the Baltic Star. Bringing in all the memes tonight, all of them. And I hope you're well. I hope you're doing really well tonight. For some reason, the beard for Ben is up on the screen already, but it's in front of Ewan. Oh no. Um,
Mm.
you may have noticed the beard for Ben is there for a reason, because Ben himself is beardless. It is that time.
Beardless.
It's that time of the 6 week cycle, I'm afraid, dear friends, that we have to do his follicles job for them. So please feel free to bring up a beard for Ben. I know Spares especially requires it, so don't be shy in going forwards. Anyway, good evening and welcome to tonight's Voice in the Baltic Star. Here we are, it's Friday, and on a Friday we play Traveller, except when we don't, but we are, which is great because we love Traveller. That's our raison d'etre.
It
And
is our OG game,
it,
after all.
it is.
It is.
It is, and we love it, and we love to share the games with you guys. There's not enough Traveller online, we feel, on Twitch and things like that, and so we're glad to bring some. If it's your first time, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to hang around for as long or short as you want. We'll probably run somewhere between 2 and 3 hours normally, with a little break in the middle. So if you like what you see, hang around. If it's not for you, that's cool. Thank you for dropping in and giving it a go. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Please feel free, if you are hanging around, you can chat if you want to. Chat is friendly and welcoming and a bit ridiculous at times, and we will join in when we're not busy. We like to interact a lot. We're very interactive in that regard. We'll chat, we'll call you out, we'll sort of, include ideas in the game and so on and so on. If you want to lurk, though, we love lurkers, so please feel free to lurk. We won't call you out if you're lurking, except for Leno if he turns up. But that's an ongoing joke, so don't worry about that. There's a little red sun there if you click it, which is happening already, you may have noticed. Team chat are using it already. There is a way to spend some points for ridiculous things, for useful things, for helpful things, for music, to see Ben pose, to show our love for Ewan, for me to get my guns out, to give us a boon, to put a beard on Ben's chin, to break into the storyline in different ways. There is a special one that we offer, which Kelly has just done. She's redeemed I'll drink to that, which we keep as a one credit expense, so that anyone can do it. If we're toasting or you agree to something, you can throw up one for I'll drink to that, because there is a special to Grey Hill, but that's for the toast in the middle generally. But if you're feeling a bit impoverished, chuck up an I'll drink to that, or a fist bump for the homie, or even a group hug. They're all a bit cheaper. We just want you to enjoy your time here with us, the boys from the Baltic Star. If you like what you see, consider following us on here or on Twitter at Boys Baltic, where you'll get more updates during the week about what's going on. We're on Instagram as well, where you'll also get updates when I get around to doing the graphics for things and putting it up. That's kind of it. So I guess we'll introduce ourselves and get started, I suppose. My name is Luke. Hello, I'm in the blue corner, in the white, and it is a pleasure to be here with you all tonight. I play two characters. Myself and you both play two. I play Kara, and I play Soraya. Kara she's an artist, a carouser, a trader, a hacker. She talks too much. But somehow manages to get away with more than she deserves to get away with, because I've got dodgy dice, which I refuse to check if they're actually dodgy, because at least I can pretend that they're not. So if I roll high, it is the dice. Although I rolled quite low last week, if I remember correctly, so maybe the curse is broken. Apart from that one, I rolled a lot of fives last week, so we'll see how that goes. But yes, so that is me. Rock and Rasp, thank you for joining us. Another subscription, much appreciated. How you doing? I play Soraya as well, jack of all trades. She is a scout, engineer, drinker of mimosas. Bit socially awkward. Aren't we all, though? She's just us in the story, all of us. Sitting next to me is my friend, my comrade, my colleague, the finest man you could ever wish to lay your eyes on. He's got he's not letting us down with the facial hair this week, unlike some of us.
Mhm.
It is the lovely. It's the housewife's favourite. It's Ewan. Good evening, Ewan. How are you?
Hey, look, I'm good, thanks. I'm very good, actually. I'm excited to be back and playing some Traveller. It's been too long.
Ah, it feels too long, doesn't it? Because we didn't do anything
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm very excited to get back into the. I don't know, it feels like our heist is kind of done. We won't get too far into it, but it feels like there's more to accomplish.
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot to do, but it was a nice bit of heisting. I love a bit of heisting from time to time.
It went off perfectly, I feel.
Suspiciously
It
so.
was flawless.
That was flawless. Yes. Beautiful.
And that's from coming from Ben, so he now can't take that back and throw anything at us this week that
That's right.
we might not have planned for.
That is now what we will call intro canon as opposed to game canon.
Yes.
Yeah,
I like the
for
sound
sure.
of that. I'm a big fan of that. Who are you playing tonight, Ewan? And who do you play every week when we play Traveller?
Oh, I was going to say I'm playing the same people that I play every other week. I play Stefan Miller, general dexterous, sneaky, little bit paranoid space rogue, and I play Agnar Arnson, still a Varga, former Varga general, former general, still Varga. That's my two. Daddy Agnar, who likes to. No, he doesn't like to, but he often picks up the bill for a lot of things.
As people always say about Agnar, he's Varga, not vulgar.
Yeah, I'd say that's most of the time that's accurate. I don't think any of us do anything vulgar,
No,
but he is definitely vulgar.
he's definitely Varga. While you're here, it'd be rude not to, as you're next to me, a fist bump, surely to get things started.
Feels good, although I'm at a slightly different place this week, so there we go.
There you go. Oh, lovely. What a joy. It feels like we've started properly
Nice.
now. Ben fist bumping so it doesn't feel left out. I like that. That's nice. We can all raise our hands triangularly to the middle, like some kind of Captain Planet or something. The last man in our trio is... we leave him to last every week because he is the smartest man. In here, in any room, in any street. He lives his entire life in the Twin Peaks dream sequence. And he is now onto his third advert as the Milk Tray Man.
Majestic!
Go on, Ben. Show us your milk tray pose. For
I
spares.
wondered what was happening then.
I will need the mug. Hold on a second.
Look at that. Fancy women. You're in your bedroom at night. You feel the gust of breeze as a window opens. And you look up to see that man posing like that, leaving a box of chocolates by your bedside.
I'll tell you right now, gust of breeze does sound nice.
Hang on, sorry, I've got the guns out now. Oh, yes. I'm glad you said that now, Kelly. Now I've got a reason to have my t-shirt sleeves up without looking like a poser. So that's good.
And these are the good guns now. They're the cricket season guns.
They are the cricket season guns. They've got a lot of overs in them. Those guns
Yeah.
beautiful. So Ben, how are you doing?
I am very well, thank you. I had a very lovely time at Fright Fest last weekend and saw a lot of extremely dark and creepy and very funny movies and very charming movies. And I'm now back rejuvenated and happy again for another year.
Oh, that is good. I'm glad. It is the most important thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things, we all have our own little things that recharge the batteries a bit,
For sure. Even though the Hobbits got in the way.
Yeah, well, I hates them. Hobbitses. I hates them.
That is true. Still bad timing. Never mind. I'm glad you're back, and we're glad you had a lovely time and you had your whoppers and you watched lots of films.
24 movies, 3 whoppers was the final count.
Good numbers. Probably better that way round than the other.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the right way round.
Oh. So now,
Yes.
now that we're here, Ben, and you've been introduced as the most important man, what's happening tonight? What are we doing?
Well, I think we should begin, as they say, as we mean to go on. So,
Oh no.
aboard the Seamstress, a liner and sports arena, where the game of buckyball is played in a vast theatre of dreams, our heroes are in charge of security for a group of cultists known as the Geeker Diaspora. The Diaspora has taken delivery of a young girl who, it seems, might be something of a controversial person in the Imperium, down to her psionic talents. The travellers feel she would be safer in the hands of a Zodani agent, and they happen to know such a person, March Temple, so they contacted her for help. She, unfortunately, wasn't able to make the Seamstress before the ship made its jump to Geeka, unless the gang could find a way to delay that jump. Accordingly, the travellers went into heist mode. As Agnar went into floofwaffle mode to distract Security Officer Olivia Sharp, Kat Aralesti sneaked her way through service ducts to disable an alarm on an access hatch in the accommodation areas. There, a team went into the emergency tunnels and, using the results of an excellent search for ship's plans by Kara, were able to disable all 3 of the redundant conduits, connecting a proximity sensor on the ship's hull. As the team made good their escape, an announcement across the ship declared that the jump to Geeka had been delayed somewhat, a perfect success to a complex and risky plan. And that is where we resume the story.
Oh, good. I thought you were going to finish with, or so they thought.
Well,
Or
when he
so
said
they
let's,
thought.
when he said let's start as we mean to go on, I was worried he was going to make us roll initiative.
Oh no. Oh,
Can I have a survival check from everybody?
Yeah, that one,
a
the
waffle
one we
check.
love so much.
Oh no. Oh. So we've just heard an announcement then that there's been a delay. Who's been in touch with March Temple? Was anyone? Oh, Zoe, wasn't it? Was it Zoe?
Zoe
Yeah.
made the initial contact, yes.
Oh yeah, and Zoe's down in the thingy. Carver will send a message to Zoe, who's she's on guard, isn't she, in the thingy, saying looks like we're stuck here for another hour or two. ...
Okay. You get a response from Zoe fairly quickly saying, I heard the announcement. I've quietly let anyone know who might need to know that sort of information.
Excellent. Well then, I guess I'll head back for the rest of my shift.
Okay. Now, is Agnar still in the hot tub area waiting for the arrival of the cultists?
Yeah, they've got the security detail, haven't they? So I assume that they will be brought to him. He was definitely there last we checked in on him because he was getting a once over from some medics, I think, wasn't he? After his pancaking.
After too much
Indeed.
floof
Waffling.
Oh, Kat needs to get over. Actually, yeah, Carver will turn to Kat. Was Kat with... No. Yeah, no, Kat was doing her
That
own
was
thing.
in the hot tub area.
Oh, yeah, she needs to go over. She needs to be there with Agnar, doesn't she? Yeah. Because she's on shift.
Yeah, we had a plan for a team. Who was it? Was there a third?
It was Agnar and Kat were the team that were on duty when the hot tubbing was happening. Were we going to try and get someone else? Yeah, someone else was spying.
Somebody said, I quite fancy a hot tub after my current shift, didn't they?
Oh, it was Rose.
Is that a thing?
Rose is joining
Yes,
you.
Rose. That does sound
Cool.
right.
Yeah.
Cool. Perfect. So yeah, he'll I suppose wander around a little bit, get a lay of the land, and shoot over a message to the group and just say, I'm just hanging out here waiting.
Okay. All right. While he is waiting there, and he's joined fairly quickly by Kat, who just settles herself next to a hot tub and relaxes a bit. You do notice Olivia Sharp make her way back out of her office suite into the hot tub area. Sort of glance around and see if she can spot someone. Are you okay being spotted by her, or do you want to hide or anything?
Agnar's perfectly fine. He'll if he's met up with Kat, he'll mention it to Kat just in case she hasn't seen. But I'm sure she knows what's going on. If he hasn't, it's fine.
She just sort of leans back a bit, turning more sideways on, and tries to look relaxed and nonchalant.
But yeah, he'll clearly just be going about his business. He won't attempt to hide. You ever tried to hide a bugger in a room full of hot tubs, Ben?
I have not. No.
It's not easy.
I suspect the puffiness would go against secrecy in that context. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It takes a moment before Sharp spots where you guys are and comes wandering over to see you. And as she arrives, she gives you a sort of curt little nod, and then says, "Could I have a word?"
Yeah, of course. Please. Or do we need to go somewhere more private, secluded?
Why? Have you done something you're ashamed of?
No, it's just the way that you ask permission to have a word. Normally, well, you've met our group. Normally, they just come up and blurt out whatever's on their mind. Please, go ahead.
So, I'm sure you've heard there's a specific reason we had to abandon our initial jump plan and delay it a little bit.
I hadn't heard that there was a specific reason. I heard the announcement.
I mean, the reason is that we lost one of our prox sensors on the side of the hull.
Ah, do you need an engineer?
No. It turns out when they went to examine it, there were just some wires cut. They were easy enough to patch back up again, but then we had to run a check on it, make sure it was operating properly, safety first and all that. It's delayed the jump by an hour or two. Nothing terribly serious.
I see. Well, I suppose when we were jumping for a week anyway, an hour. Well, certainly for the Baltic Star, an hour wouldn't make much difference. I don't know how tight your windows are on an operation, commercial operation such as this. Is there anything at all I can help with?
I mean, my responsibility is technically to League security, but effectively I'm the security chief on the ship. So I'm about to have to review the security footage from camera feeds close to the place where the wires were cut.
Yes.
And I just wanted to know if you thought that would be worth my while, or if I should just shrug my shoulders and walk away.
If it was me personally, for the sake of an hour, I would imagine it's going to take you more than an hour's work to review the footage, and I would say that it's probably not worth the hassle. But
I mean, you wouldn't, for example, if you were in my position, be deeply curious as to who had sabotaged the ship.
Well, I suppose that depends on your personality, doesn't it? If you're one of those people that gets a niggling itch and needs to know the answer, if, however, you would be happy to take the word of a friend that nothing there was nothing to worry about by such a thing happening, and get on with what I assume is the more important job of trying to calm down the diaspora, to be fair, then I would just get on with your day.
Can you roll a persuade for me with intellect, please?
Could I twist your arm for social?
Yes, you can. Social makes sense.
Good choice.
It's a 7 minus 3 plus 2, so that's a 6.
Total of a 6. Okay. She glances across at Cat, and like cocks an eyebrow at Cat, and Cat starts grinning and chatting quite amiably about how the ship seems to be running very smoothly, actually, and despite this one tiny glitch, nothing can possibly be a problem. Surely Sharp has some kind of responsibilities with regard to the beginning of the proper match and crowd control in the bars as the evening wears on, and the first, everyone being squared away for the jump, and she waffles reasonably well on this subject. And for a little while, it looks as if Sharp is going along with it. And then she, thinking about something, she also says, of course, I'd also want to know why the alarms didn't go off when it was accessed. And that's perhaps the bigger question. And she says, so enjoy your chaperoning hot tubbers. Please try to keep them out of trouble. I'm sure I'll be in touch. And she turns on her heel and wanders off, leaving you the very strong impression that she is in fact going to take a look at the footage.
Agnar picks up the phone to Kara straight away.
Okay.
Yellow.
Hey Kara, I've just in Sharp again. She's gonna check the footage. They know the wires were cut, and she's more concerned, I think, with the alarm not going off. Just thought I'd let you know.
Okay.
Oh, also remind me to tell you about the person. There was a person that was following me, but it's not important now.
Person.
I had a conversation with Sharp about it. Remind me to fill you in.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thanks. I'll
And he hangs up the phone.
Okay.
Thank you, Spez. When Kara hangs up, this will be... If this was happening pretty much after the thing, so Kara would have been walking back towards our quarters. So
Yep.
Kara will divert herself to head to the security offices, please.
To Sharp's office,
Yeah, to
basically.
Sharp's office, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She'll be there in 5 minutes or so.
Okie dokie.
When Agnar's finished on the phone, he'll turn to Kat and just say, "Do you think you can keep her busy for a little while longer?"
Keep Sharp busy.
Yeah. I imagine Kara's got some stuff to
She glances down at the retreating back of Sharp and says, "Sure, I can probably delay her a bit. Um, how drastic do you need me to be?"
I don't know, but don't fall in the hot tub. I've already done that once on her. I don't
Okay.
think it would work again.
All right.
Although she does know that I can't swim. He winks.
I thought Varga were famous for being able to swim.
Well, yeah, I mean, some of them are. I can swim.
Oh, right. But Sharp thinks you can't.
Yeah.
Right. I'll do my best. And she chases off after Sharp. Okay. She sets off at speed, leaping and skipping down the little staircases and slopes between the hot tub to get to where Sharp is entering the lift. And as she makes her way down, she slips, falls, tumbles down a couple of stairs, lets out a bit of a yelp. Clearly accidentally, she's just screwed up. However, it does buy a few seconds because Sharp hears, turns around, and goes over to see if she's okay. And checks that she doesn't need, immediate medical attention. She unfortunately doesn't twig that this could be a perfect way to delay Sharp. She immediately insists that there's nothing wrong and she isn't hurt and everything. And then immediately kicks herself for not saying, "Oh, yes, I think everything's broken." But Sharp helps her back up to her feet, and you can see them start to have a conversation. And that conversation is going on for, a moment or two.
I guess unknowing of unknowing of what's going on at this point, Cara will be walking quickly, but without looking like there's a fire. So she's not sprinting down the things, but she's getting hustle on towards the security offices.
Okay. So as she gets to the lift shaft down to the security offices, is she taking the lift straight to the offices, avoiding the hot tub area?
Yeah, straight to the offices, please.
Okay. All right. So at about this point, she'll be entering the lift at the top.
Okie dokie. So Cara's entering the lift at the top as Sharp and Cat having their conversation.
They're having a little chat down on the lower level of the hot tub, yes. So depending on how long that conversation lasts, Sharp may be hitting the down button and actually jumping in the same lift as Cara. Oh. So Cat makes her best effort to distract. And it is not great, but reasonable. She holds Sharp back for a few moments. But in doing so, Sharp is now absolutely convinced there's something dark and mysterious going on that she needs to investigate. However, the delay does mean that Cara passes down to the security level, and it is the next lift that Sharp gets. So, what is Cara doing as soon as she gets to the security level?
I'm assuming if she's in there, there's other staff around. You can't just go striding into someone's office. Would that be fair to say?
Essentially, Sharp's office is at the end of a corridor lined with offices and meeting rooms.
Yeah. Unless someone stops her, Cara's going to walk professionally but quietly towards the end of the corridor, please.
Okay. Um, I'm going to ask that you roll a stealth check
Oh no.
with Dex, please,
Oh no. Oh no.
to
Did you
find
take
out if
professional
you
walking?
can
No.
essentially blend in so well that nobody stops you.
Yeah. Um, well, I got stealth 0 and dex 0, so it could be worse.
Uh,
It's not her skill, but she knows how to be stealthy when need be. But not this time, sadly, because it is a. Who's changed my dice? It's a 4.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
You make it not very far down the corridor when somebody cheerfully sticks their head out of a door, spots Kara, and says, "Ah, can I help you?"
Oh, I've got double boons. Do I recognise this person?
No.
Um, Hiya. My name's Cara. Who are you? Hey, Fiddy. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. I feel like the crew is gathering, which I always
Socks,
love.
welcome. Um, the the person is a young man. Um, sticks sticks his head out and is chatting away, and he says, "Filton.
How are you
My
spelling?
name's Officer Filton.
How are you spelling Phil? How are you spelling Filton?
Filton.
Filton. Officer Filton. Is he? Cara's 34. Would she suggest that he's younger than her?
Yeah, he's a little bit younger, late 20s maybe.
Okay. She smiles at him and says, "Oh, hi there, Officer Filton. Sorry, that'll become obvious in a second. We're doing a bit of standing.
Ah, yes, that was a Stan.
Just stopped. Hi, Officer Filton," and then just leaves it hanging. Hi, Officer Filton. How are you this evening? Working. I hope you're not having to work too late tonight. I hope.
My shift's actually only just started.
Ah, what what a time to start it with all this delays and things.
Well, yes. We're looking into that, of course. I don't think there's anything to worry about. But as I say, can I help?
Um, Not directly, but I'm glad that you've spotted me because I feel more comfortable with people knowing that I'm here. Um, I'm I'm sort of working along with Officer Sharp. Um, there's some special passengers. Let's put that a special group of passengers that we are in close conversation with Olivia Sharp about, and so I was having planning to come up and sort of update her with a meeting in that. And usually, um, her office is one on the end, and I go in there, sort of sit down, make myself at home, and sort of tell her everything she needs to know. Is that okay?
Yes. I mean, she's perhaps a little bit busy um, for just drop-ins, but you can pass on any information you have to me.
Um, it's difficult because it's a very specific um, job that we're doing at the minute for her, and she has told us that it's to go directly through her. Not that she doesn't trust you, of course. I'm sure that Miss Officer Filton, you said, like, I'm sure she'd appreciate you doing your job incredibly well, but we do work directly with her. We've worked with her before. A week or so ago, did you hear about the murder geologist? We worked with her on that to sort of sort things out, and this. So I know where it is. I'm not gonna cause any trouble or anything. Like you can check me for I'm not carrying anything that's gonna cause a problem. Yeah. What's your favourite? What's your favourite drink, Officer Filton? I can get you a cup of tea or coffee on my way through if you want. You know, on my way back out. You know, I know you've just started, but start doesn't mean it's gone. Do you know what I mean? Like, refresh yourself. I come back a couple of times a day. I can always swing by of an evening and drop something in. Do you know what I mean? You're doing such a good job.
Roll a
Officer Philton.
persuade for me for Cara, please, with intellect.
Okay. Oh no, I've got to get him 3 mugs of tea. I'll get you 3 mugs of tea, Officer Phil. Persuade plus intellect, did you say? This is more like it, hopefully. Okay. That's a +4 to my roll. Okay, that's more like it. 8 plus 4 is 12.
Okay. Hilton actually walks with you towards Sharp's office. And just outside it, there's a small meeting room. Just one of the doors next to it. And he shows you into that room and says, "You can wait here. I'm sure Sharp won't be long."
Fantastic. Thank you, Philton. Thank you. When she comes through, could you let her know that it's urgent, that I need to speak to her straight away? She will not be surprised to know that I'm here right now. If you know what I mean. She will be expecting me.
Okay. Excellent. Yes, I'll do that. And he steps out and sort of closes the door. And you have a moment before Sharp arrives. Is there something you need to do? Or are you just waiting?
Well, sorry, just quickly, there is something you need to do, Ben. There's a resplend in the...
Oh, okay, yes. I shall resplend. Excellent.
I also thought it might give Luke a bit more time to think if he doesn't know what he's going to do. He always does, but, you know. Wonderful.
When he goes, Carl will stay sat there until he sort of leaves. Waits a second, goes to the door and peeks through it. Is he back in his office? Is he back to it?
He is just walking back down towards his office down the corridor. Yeah.
Okay. The second he goes into his office, can she, like a pesky kid, creep out of that room and just try and get into Sharp's office if it's unlocked, you know?
Certainly can try. We're going for a stealth check here.
Oh no.
With Dex.
Oh no. Why do you do this to me? It's so unfair.
Because you're trying to do something stealthy and requiring dexterity. I'm sorry, but that's kind of...
Fine, I'm going to do it loud and aggressively then. No, that's an 8. That's a flat 8.
A flat 8?
Yeah.
Okay. You sneak out of the door, seemingly nobody's paying any attention, and you do nip in next door. As far as you can tell, nobody spots you.
Okay. Hey, Ellie. How you doing? Good timing. You doing well? Pleasure to have you with us. See, the crew are all gathering. I appreciate it. This is very pleasant. Nice posse tonight. A very nice posse. When she's there, all she's going to do is she's going to sit at the desk and put her feet up and look as relaxed as possible, as if she's having a little doze.
Okay. All right. It is just a minute or two, perhaps later, when the door opens and you hear, your eyes are closed and you're not asleep yet. You hear Sharp come in, and then her footsteps kind of stop in the doorway. And you hear her mutter under her breath, "Figures."
Without opening her eyes, Kara smiles. But has a smile. And she says, "Hey, I bet you weren't expecting me."
Among the things I've learnt in recent weeks is to always expect one of you.
Oh, well,
How can I help?
Carver opens her eyes and she gets up from Sharp's chair, of course, and offers it to Sharp, and instead looks for. I'm guessing there's like a. Is there like a slum chair for the person dragged into the office or something?
The the office isn't huge. There's essentially a chair behind the desk and then two more in front of it.
Yeah, she'll walk round to one of those chairs instead, and sort of plop herself down there.
Um, Sharp will walk around and sit in her own chair and reposition it the way she likes it. And then she'll say, "So, how can I help?"
Is Officer Filton? Has he got a wife or partner?
I would probably be within my rights to say that that's not really my business. But I more accurately really don't care that much.
Can you tell him he's got lovely eyes anyway from me, if you feel it's appropriate?
I try very hard not to have conversations with my subordinates that are going to end in HR meetings.
Fair enough. It's important. Safety first, after all. Anyway, yes, here I am. Thank you for seeing me. I appreciate it. Our journey's been delayed by an hour or two.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
But I'm assuming in an hour or two's time, things will get sorted and we'll fly away, and you'll log it that it was all sorted out and everything is great, and it's another Olivia Sharp sorted it moment.
According to the engineers, we should be underway as soon as we've checked that there's nothing wrong with the prox sensor. As for the other part, before I can really claim the victory lap, I kind of have to run the race.
It's true, you know. You got to be the tortoise, not the hare. What's better for you? There being an issue, but it getting sorted, or there not being an issue, I guess. Like it's a false alarm, it's a problem, it's all covered, or something terrible happened and you had to sort it. What looks better?
What looks better? They both look fine.
Okay, good. Do you have any suspects for what's going on? Agnar messaged me and said that a wire had been cut.
I have not so much suspects as notions.
Notions. You know, we've talked before. I believe it was on the first cruise that you said that in our investigation with that mangy old Varga man, may he rest in pieces, that there might be things that we needed to do to complete what we needed to do, and you'd rather not know those things.
Yes, I not only remember having that kind of conversation, I find I regret it more and more every day.
Um, so you know the job we've got to with these cults. Well, the diaspora. Um, that we've chosen strange ways of dealing with it by taking them all for a hot tubbing in an hour's time. But other than that, we're sort of trying to keep them apart from things, and we're sort of trying to keep we're dealing with that. That's our primary goal, I guess. And conversation with you was to sort of keep that as far away from other people and keep that as a separate thing from everyone else, and sort of keep a nice, relaxed, and quiet trip for everyone else, I guess.
I understand.
The the keeping things quiet with regards to the cult and keeping things like that might be linked to jump being an hour later.
Can you roll a persuade for me, please, with intellect or social, your choice?
Oh, good intellect.
You still got 2 bones.
I still.
Don't forget your boon.
Oh. Hey, I've already rolled though. And I've seen what it is. It'd be cheating to do it otherwise now.
I didn't unmute quick enough.
Hopefully this wasn't too bad. It's an 11.
Oh,
So it depends how strict she is. Crit fail, I will do that in a
Okay.
bit.
All right. She slumps her shoulders a little bit and says, "You know, when I was a younger security officer, I'd have immediately thought, that was good. I got a confession.
Yeah.
And now I just think, how long do I have to still be on a ship with these people before they go away and I never, ever have to see them again?"
1 week, I believe, plus an hour and a half. Sorry, a week and an hour and a half.
She glances down at her sort of computer system and back at Kara and says, "This is a two-way street.
Okay.
You want me to walk away from something that I don't need to know about? Okay. Fair enough. But the other side of it is, if you encounter something that I really do need to know about,
Yeah.
I'm your first call."
You know, we learnt that about 2 days into the last cruise, that you should always be our first call when there's something serious that needs to be talked about. There was a mysterious man following Agnar. Do you know who it was? He told me there was some mysterious character.
He mentioned it. I don't really have a lot to go on, though.
That's you'd understand the position we're in, trying to be all edgy around this cult, I guess. I'll keep you up to date if that's happening again. I'm sure we all will, in case that is something that could cause harm, I guess. Trouble.
Okay. I'll tell you what.
Yes.
I will start reviewing footage of Agnar's movements and see if I can spot anyone in that footage.
Agnar's movements, yeah.
But just so I know, I'm not going to see anything I don't want to see if I follow Agnar around on the cameras, right?
I don't know. There was a point when his tail slipped a little bit when we were hot tubbing earlier. That might be worth fast forwarding.
Yeah.
Trying to think. I don't know. I wouldn't know. The last time I saw Agnar around the hot tubs was when he and I went there earlier to check it out as we were sort of booking in. not really been with him since. Briefly at the. No, we never went to briefly at the Cross Keys, maybe, but I don't remember. No, there's nothing. I don't think. I don't know what he's been up to really. I'm sure it's fine.
Then in that case, I guess I will not worry too much about the footage from the access panels, and I will instead spend a bit of time looking at footage of Agnar.
However you want to spend your spare time is up to you, I guess. He is a handsome man.
You say that, but it's apparently not that much up to me. Right. Okay. Is there anything else while you're here?
I can see the way you said it. I think I know the answer that you want to hear. No, that's it for now. Thank you. We're moving the cultists in about an hour and a bit. It's two. So we've got some security detail there. Should be okay. We're all on tenterhooks. You know, those of us that aren't sleeping are all ready to jump in if needed. But it should be okay. But we'll let you know if anything goes down. But hopefully it shouldn't do.
Okay then. Then in that case, we will say goodbye to each other for the moment.
Well, it's not
And with
goodbye.
any
Let's
luck,
call it adieu.
I so really want to call it goodbye. Just hoping that the next time we bump into each other, I'm waving you goodbye at the end of the flight.
Oh, me too. We're closer friends in a wave, aren't we?
I feel we probably are, but in the sense that we've both been taken hostage by the same serial killer. Anyway, I will bid you goodbye, and I will see what I can get on this mysterious person who was looking at Agnar.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. Don't stay up too late though, and we'll see you when we see you.
Yes, excellent.
Okay.
And she turns back to her computer and gives the very strong impression she doesn't want you to be in the office when she looks up again.
Okay. Kara stands up and turns on her heels and exits the office and strides towards the end of the corridor. As she goes past Filton's office, she'll shout out to him, "Have a good shift, Officer Filton."
His head sort of prairie dogs out from his office. Sort of looks up and down. Thanks.
You're doing wonderful work.
And he disappears back inside. And yes, Sharp appears to be just studying her computer as you walk up down up the corridor and glance back at her. She seems to be back at work.
The second she gets outside the security door and out into the sort of, she waits until she can get as she's getting towards the lifts. She calls up Agnar. Hey, Agnar.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
You alright?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That's awkward. We both said yeah at the same time.
You go first. No, you. I'll go first.
What,
No, you. What? What?
Yeah.
What did you want?
You called me.
What? Oh. Are you sure? A few things. Sharp's not going to investigate what happened. Firstly. Secondly, she is going to investigate you and what you've been up to this afternoon. It's about that stalker. she's gonna look through old footage of you for today. Right. You didn't do anything embarrassing at any point, did you? You didn't like pose in front of a mirror or anything, or like.
Well, I'm sure I mentioned. I'm sure I asked her before if she could lose some footage of me from today. That'd be much appreciated. So hopefully she'll take care of that as well. But that's interesting. I showed her. I showed. Do you remember I took that picture
Yes, I do remember it very well.
just before? I mean, I was partly trying to buy you guys a bit more time, but before she left earlier on, I sent her. I showed her the picture. She looked at it, and I think. I mean, I couldn't gain what, but I think there was something there. It wasn't necessarily recognition, but there was a look or a moment. Do you know what I mean?
That yes.
It's got me thinking.
She I want to know if that's sexy boys for you and or for pictures of Agnar. Yeah, that's interesting. She didn't seem to have that flicker so much. She seemed to know what I was talking about. It'll be interesting to know if she does find anything, and if it's useful.
Yeah. I'm sure it's fine. People give me odd looks all the time, but sometimes they recognise me from the service. But I very much didn't think this was the case.
From the service, what they thought that you bought them their food at lunchtime.
No.
You do have you've got a look of a waiter on a cruise ship. It must be said. I think it's the way you walk around.
If I ever find a cruise ship where all the service staff are former military generals and admirals, I'll think about joining up. Maybe
It's because you're like a polished button on the tunic.
From the Baltic Star.
You could practice on the Baltic Star. Next time we've got people along, passengers.
Learn a bit of stewarding.
Yeah, give Rose a hand. She's always weighed under since Grey Hill's demise.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
You don't sound very up for it. Anyway, one more thing before I go. There's a thought that's been playing in my mind that I can't get out of my head. Is that it's about cults and about community understanding to the working class. I don't know if I've talked to you about it before.
Is this going to take long?
About a minute, maybe. Have you got that long?
Yeah, go on. That's
okay,
all right.
I promise it won't last any longer. You can stop me if I go longer, okay?
Thanks.
Okay. Right, so cults, by their very nature, sort of gain their strength from people following an ideology at a single point, like a bright light, as it would be, and so often they will pull along people from people that have sort of got a higher ideal of themselves. They've got a bit of spare money, they've got a bit of spare time, they've got a bit of that sort of education to sort of, I'm going to better myself. And so they draw quite a lot of the middle class in these cults. And sometimes with cults, they really struggle to bring this community to the working class because they don't have time for this nonsense. They don't care for these lies and the nonsense. And especially light bulbs. You know light bulbs, yeah?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Have you heard of cults with light bulbs?
No.
That's because they don't. That's because they don't exist.
Well, that's good to know. But I've really got to go. There's a hot tub emergency.
Hot tub
at
emergency?
number 371. Yeah. I can see it from here.
Okay. Well, I'll take your word for it. Are you sure you don't want to know more about cults?
Maybe later. Save it for when we're social time.
Okay, good idea. Right, I'm gonna go back to the rooms, and I think our shift's over, but I think we're gonna help myself and Zoe and Rose will help bring the cultists over to you guys, and we'll sort of hand over at that point.
Yeah. I'm at the hot tub, so bring them over here, and I'll be waiting by those The one you told me which ones they were. I'll be waiting by the hot tubs.
Yes. Good man. See you in a bit.
Bye. He
Bye.
waves.
He
Hangs up.
waves.
Oh.
And Kara heads back to the rooms.
Okay. So, with Kara on her way back, who else is going where and what are they doing? So, Agnar's staying by the hot tubs.
Yeah, he'll just spend a little bit of time, I guess, studying the photo. I know it wasn't a particularly great one, I don't think, but he'll just familiarise himself with general appearance of the person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Varga in the mist.
Precisely.
Yeah. So Kara's on her way back to the accommodation. Soraya is still busy.
She will have finished what she was doing, and she headed straight back to Duke's to meet up with Stefan's there, and with thinking it with what's his name? Struggling my brains. Rick.
Rick Verlo,
Yeah.
Rick Verlo.
So Soraya's gonna head back over to those guys.
I like to think that Stefan is completely kicked loose at this point. Like, I was going to get to do some sneaker work. Now I'm entertaining Rick, and has just been supplying him with copious amounts of alcohol. And I like to think he's just on a table chanting toga as Soraya walks in.
Yeah. Naturally. Yeah. As you do, because that's the classy way to be.
Yes. Yeah.
Toga.
Well, if I remember correctly from the last time, when they were doing the pre-game amble between the two bars, I think it was a little bit raucous, if Stefan remembers correctly.
It definitely was quite noisy. Yeah.
So he'll be leaning into it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean appropriately noisy. Yeah, people are having a party.
Yeah, I mean, he's not trying to be obnoxious. He's just trying to show Rick a good time, I guess. Bring him out of his shell a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's completely understandable. Yes. So, nothing continues to happen for best part of an hour until it's time for the cult, the diaspora, to make their way to their reserved hot tubs. And they begin to assemble in the downstairs section of their suite area. And they assemble fairly quietly, but they gather whatever accoutrements they need for the hot tubs. They're taking towels and things like that with them. But there is a definite sense that they are going as a group. They're not quite forming into sort of ranks and columns, but they're definitely assembling like they're going on a field trip in a collective, and they're not going until everybody's ready. And you notice that the group includes, as far as you can tell, every single member of the diaspora, including their leader and their new young recruit. All of them seem to be going on this trip together. And they assemble by the lifts, and of course they can't all fit into the lift at once. So they go up in a little relay, half a dozen of them at a time. And then the lift goes back down again and brings up another lot. And they assemble again at the top of the lift shaft, very much in a group. And because they're all traveling together, they do attract a little bit of attention. They're not doing anything particularly outlandish, so they don't attract a lot, but they do attract a little bit of attention from passers-by because there's a gang of them rather than just one or two. But once they're all assembled, they immediately make their way forward towards the hot tub area. and now they very much are walking almost in step, as a gaggle. They walk as a group. And it is quite noticeable. I mean, the fact there's a decent number of people who are walking like that as a group, pretty much in a direct line. People get out of their way. People sort of glare at them a bit. People who are already quite drunk, quite relaxed, enjoying a meander and what have you, are a bit put out to see this group sort of just shoulder their way through and keep going like they're marching to a different kind of rhythm.
As they're sort of going along, because it's Cara and Zoe and Rose, I guess, at that point, and as the sort of Cara's buzzing away up and down the line a bit and sort of trying to talk to people. Anyone that's sort of getting shouldered past, she's trying to ease it, I guess, a little bit, sort of trying to make light of it. So, oh, don't worry. Sorry about these guys. I know they look like they're marching, but it's all right. I'm marching them straight to the airlock. Sort of joking. Oh, come on, guys. I thought we were going to dance our way there. Sort of trying to lighten the mood, I guess, as they go. I know it's awkward and they look very group-like, but she's sort of, I hope everyone's got their trunks. Pointing at a random one. How about you? You a fan? You a fan of the tobbing?
The one you speak to looks up and gives a little nod, but not much of a smile. It's as if this is a field trip, not a joyous thing.
Wow, you're going to have a wonderful time. You're going to have a lovely time. I know you don't believe me, but the fun you're going to have. Out the way. Sorry, guys. We're just coming through. Don't mind us. I'm sorry. Come on, you guys should be in bed anyway. Look at you all. It's 2 o'clock. Come on, you got to start early tomorrow. There's a game tomorrow, guys. Come on. Come on. Nothing to see here. Just a group of people marching together.
Okay. Yeah, they are. They are fairly obvious, but can you roll a stealth roll, please?
Oh, no.
For
the group.
I don't know who can do the stealth. I mean, it's not Soraya, is it? It's going to be Rose, isn't it?
Rose feels like the one that would be best for that sort of thing.
All right, I'll do a rose roll.
A rose roll.
It's her best efforts are not that convincing. But she you do indeed shepherd the people all the way as a group to the hot tub area. You've just about arrived and people are taking over their little trio of hot tubs. Those 3, they're not separate from the others, but they do form a little sort of collective area. So you have almost a bit of privacy between them and around them, where other people aren't necessarily going to cut through and walk through those areas because it will be out of their way to do so. And it all looks like it's going to go really, really well. Everyone's settling in and sitting with their feet dangling in the hot tubs. And then during the sort of moments where everyone is relaxed and everyone's enjoying themselves, Pope Vesuvius stands up and starts speaking very loudly in a quite clearly foreign language, one you haven't heard before or aren't familiar with.
What's his name again, sorry? He's only ever been the Pope.
Pope Vesuvius.
Like the mountain. Brilliant.
Yep. Pope Vesuvius von Cotswolds, in fact.
Ah, nice. Who'd have thought?
I'm not at all surprised. I knew it'd be one of them wrong uns, I tell you. Cara rolls her eyes as she looks at Zoe. What's Zoe's reaction at this point?
Um, I think it's fair to say her eyes are quite flinty.
Kara wanders over to Agnar and sort of she's quite nervous and stressed, but she tries to make light of it. She'll say, "Well, I guess that's the end of my shift. This looks like it's your problem now." And sort of tries to playfully give him a slap on the back and to head away.
What do you mean problem? It's fine. It's hot tub time. Enjoy your downtime.
I'm fully expecting a message in about 20 minutes' time. Yeah.
Did you pass information to everybody as to where your other reserved hot tub was?
That would have been. I'm trying to think. Was it Agnar that?
Because I think Agnar sorted it.
Yes. So Agnar. I'm guessing only the local team would know. I don't know, the ones that were there.
Okay.
But I don't know. That wouldn't be my job.
Yes. So, Ewan, if you know who Agnar would have told, which was the local hot tub that he booked, was it an overview one looking down on the others?
Yeah, it was. I assume. Sorry, I probably should have specified at the time, but I would have assumed he would have dropped it into the group chat at some point, sort of like to confirm everyone tonight. We've got these hot tubs, 1, 2. He listed the 3 numbers that Cara had booked, and then said, "Oh, and we've also got the other number as a lookout, not as a cult hot tub."
In that case, having seen the speaking foreign languages very loudly and shouting and waving his arms about Pope, Zoe will go up and find that hot tub and sit down next to it, just in case trouble accrues.
At some point, assuming that Soraya is back in the bar, I'd imagine at some point that Stefan would, a few drinks in, turn to her and say, "Look, listen, I know you love this buckyball stuff.
I do love buckyball stuff.
But you know they've got a pretty they're taking this thing pretty serious tonight with the hot tubbing and all. What do you reckon we could who could we wind up? I know you love a joke."
I do love a joke.
Wow. You know, we could go to this extra hot tub and start throwing stuff at people, or we could cause some kind of, I don't even know what hot tub emergency would be. I'm not sure that's a thing, but you know, we could wind Agnar up.
I hear that 80% of the breakdowns in hot tubs are down to Varga. The fluke
I read
gets
that
everywhere.
somewhere too. Was that on the
on the news, right? Yeah. Maybe we could go. Yeah, we could set up some sort of hot tub shenanigans. I'm up for it. Looks over at Rick, who's probably quite drunk as well. Should we drag Rick along? He looks like he's up for shenanigans.
Hey Rick, are you coming? Stefan will just shout at him.
He looks up at the buckyball pitch where not a lot's happening right at the moment, and then he shrugs and goes, "Sure. This is the hot tubs, right?"
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we'll finish these and get another one for the road. We'll get a full one for the road, maybe.
And
no
some
rush.
balls that float.
Like
I bet there's a game we can play with balls that float in a hot tub.
Some bucky balls that float.
Or cheesy balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get both.
Lightweight balls that we can throw from hot tub to hot tub. I'm sure that'll be an excellent game. Excellent game.
Hot tub buckyball.
This Sarah sort of puts her arm around Rick as she looks at Stefan and pokes Rick in the chest. She's like, I told you, Stefan, this is a smart guy, yeah? He knows. He knows. He's got all the best ideas.
He's a good one. We've been having a great evening.
He nods enthusiastically. Best ideas.
We're going to need some more togas, though.
Oh, God.
Come on then, let's get some drinks. I've got an idea. We need to swing by a merch stall on the way.
All right. And as you set off towards the merch stall, we will take our little break. So we shall be back with a toast in about 5 minutes or so. After I've also opened the top half of my stable door and let some cool air through my house.
Yeah, that's a good plan. It's warm tonight.
It really is.
It's all the hot tubbing.
Oh, it's just the thought of it. We've got little bubbly foot spa now. I might go and plug that in so I can get into the vibe of things for the second half.
Nice.
Right. So in chat, thank you for hanging out with us for the first half. We're just going to go away for 5 minutes and do our break. Please feel free to do the same. But it'd be nice if you were still here when we got back. We're going to do the Toast to Grey Hill, which is the most important part of any stream, and then we'll carry on. So hopefully we'll see you all shortly. Let me sort out music and things. Bear with me a second. Just get rid of that. So that should be music now. You should be able to do some music, I hope. And then you should hopefully be able to see the break screen. I hope you've got that as well. So hopefully you've got music on the break screen, guys. You got that, yeah? Cool. And then we're going to... They're not talking anyway, so that's easy. And I'm going to stop talking now. Ewan.
Hello and welcome back to the Boys from the Baltic Star. The most important part of the Boys from the Baltic Star Friday stream, which I know, I said it, Luke, I said it. Which is our is our toast to our fallen beloved barman who stands behind me and who is the inspiration for Ben's Resplending. And what better way to pay homage to a person than to fulfill their life's work and their dreams. We stumbled across a notebook full of some screenplays or plays or some works of performance art that Greyhound had created. We've been very busy over the break, working hard to bring you the second installation of the long lost Grey Hill plays, or at least the textual info dumps that he had written in the margins for each episode. So we're ready. I'm sure you're ready. The Baltic Star legal team is ready. I should probably. Well, as it turns out, last time we ran into some minor copyright issues over the first episode, and so I'm sorry for the delay in the second one, but we've also had to stop the use of episode. We made the executive decision that it will now be epilogue, and as such, the previous episode is now epilogue 3, which is the fourth in the timeline order, and the first one to be released. Tonight we'll be watching episode 4, which is in fact
Epilogue
the fifth
4.
in the timeline order. Epilogue 4, thanks. Get me in trouble. And the second to be released. By the time we get to epilogue 1, it will in fact be the second in timeline order and the fifth to be released. And epilogue 8 will be the final and ninth in the timeline order and ninth to be released. And if you think this is confusing, don't worry, it is. Luke, roll the film.
Okay, let's see if it works.
1VT.
Yes, it works.
Was.
I'll turn the music off, otherwise we'll get problems.
Actual problems.
Actual problems.
Real world problems.
Play some music.
Yes.
You also might have to let me know when it's done, because I've got a delay.
It's done.
Oh, wonderful! Thanks, Luke. Smooth.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can add anything to that creative genius of Grey Hill Bast. And I've been rambling on far too long about something which is supposed to be a toast and isn't actually a toast. But the man was frankly a genius, whether it was pouring drinks or coming up with creative works of art and obscure ways in which to present them. So I'd like you all to raise a glass, if you would, to the great Grey Hill Bast.
The Grey Hill Bast.
Late, great Grey Hill Bast.
Yeah. And that is so distinctively Grey Hill as well. Nobody else would produce anything like that.
Right, it's very much his style.
Entirely his style, yeah.
To Grey Hill, to Grey Hill, to Grey Hill. Lots of Grey Hills.
Oh, to Grey Hill.
Very
that's
well
ridiculous.
done.
Excellent.
That was excellent.
Right, let's get some bits up. Oh man, I've got to stop chugging akavit on those toasts.
Have you though?
Oh man, I'll smaller portions. I think that's like a double shot rather than a single shot. Oh.
You need to anticipate the grey hills that are coming up afterwards, and
Yeah,
just
that's true. Just
do
combine
tiny sips for each one.
Tiny
I
sips.
think that's reasonable.
Tiny sips is my nickname.
One of them.
It is now.
That's canon.
That's canon.
Yeah, he's known among his teammates and a half for the lad.
No. Oh, please, sir. Can I get a shandy?
That's canon now.
Yep. Yes. Many years ago, we actually did that with a quiz team when I was first starting out in quiz teams, and I was the lad who had the half in each round. A long time ago.
Look where you are now.
I know. Yeah.
Building blocks.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was early in my training then.
The Padawan. No, we can't say the Padawin. They'd only get copyrighted.
Yeah, don't say that. Not tonight. Too close.
Don't want to tick too many boxes at once.
No, well, yeah, exactly. Little and often. No, that's not what we want.
Yes, I'm afraid I don't have any cheesy balls, despite the heat.
Oh, Padawin.
Yeah, but yes, right. So we have a gaggle of people at the hot tubs doing their ritual, and we have a gaggle of people slightly drunkenly making their way towards a merch store.
Is it a man or a lady in the match stall, or
It is, in fact, a young woman.
Hello, my good lady. How are you?
Very well, thank you. You seem to be enjoying yourselves this evening.
Well, you know, what's the point in coming on one of these if you're not going to enjoy yourself?
I agree. So, what can I do for you?
Business been good? So I'm going into my usual drunken conversations. Business been good?
Not too bad, and it'll pick up more once the proper match starts, I think.
Not too many annoying drunks tonight, I hope.
Not that many who annoy me, no.
Shush, Stefan. Do you have any large club flags? Large flags.
When you say large,
one that you could wear.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Could we get? As she turns to Stefan. Stefan, Dilabru or Hakat?
Yeah, I suppose it's got to be Delabru.
Of course it does.
We can if you get a receipt, we can hang it up in the place back on Delabru and claim the tax back.
That is good. We can have a little. Yeah, let's have it on the wall. I like it. We can get it signed by some players, maybe. That'd be a good idea.
That would be good.
Rick, Hakat or Dilabru?
Well, it's got to be Dilabru, hasn't it? We've got business there. We've got people we care about there, and you know, we've almost got history with the team.
Oh, it's true. Good choice. You know who we do have there? We have the wonderful Rack, of course. What a guy he was.
Resplendent, some might say.
So resplendent. Cool. So that's two Dilabrus. My good lady, do you carry any merch for any other teams while you're here? You don't happen to have any Geeks flags left from the last match, do you?
We have some in stock. I'll have to dig them out from the back because obviously they're not really in current demand.
The Geeks are always in demand, my good lady. We'll have two Dilabru for these, and I'll have a Geeks, please. Up the Geeks.
Up the Geeks, indeed.
Up the Geeks.
The Geeks.
She hustles off to the back a little bit, and it really isn't very long before she returns with an Up the Geeks um, flag, towel, whatever, a large scale one that you could wrap around your body quite comfortably,
Yes.
and a couple in packets for the for De La Brew.
She sort of takes them, throws the 2 De La Brew towels, flags to the others, and off herself. How much do I owe you, my good lady?
75.
75. Interesting. Okay, well, I'll pay it this time. Thank you.
This time.
This time. I hope the rest of the evening goes well, and up the geeks.
Sure, Up the Geeks.
Yeah, why not? And Soraya sort of pulls her flag out the wrapping. Says, "Have you got a bin?"
That's fine. Leave it with me. No
Oh,
problem.
Thank you. And she marks out and says, "Well, you wanted togas? We've got togas."
Toga.
Fine, togas. And Stefan will start attempting to find something to fasten his, I guess.
Just tie it in a knot, Stefan. Just don't catch any of your chest hair in there when you do it.
Fasten it off in a knot. Chest hair up here.
We know you shave it up there.
It's much easier when you're not Varga, because a Varga's entirely chest.
Right, what else do we need?
You want ammo to throw?
Balls! Screams.
You
heard the man. Rick wants balls.
Right. I've heard that about Rick. Let's go to a little food stand then. Come on.
Oh, food's a good idea as well, to be fair.
Go on, Stefan. You order.
Good evening.
Hi there.
What are the options here? Sorry, it's been a long night, as you can probably tell by my friends.
Ask him how business has been. They like that. Awesome. Like being friends with. Come on.
The place is a kiosk, food kiosk, like street food kind of thing, and it has a variety of hot and cold snacks.
Yes, it all looks very nice. You having a busy evening? How's it going? How's business, my friend says.
My good man.
Okay, and I suspect it'll pick up a bit towards the end of the night.
We've heard that before. Yeah. Well, I'll take Sarai, you got any preference?
I'll have do you have any meat on sticks?
Yes, we do those.
I want meat on sticks, please.
We have long kebab-like meat on sticks, and we have smaller, bite-sized meat on sticks.
I'll have 3 of each, please.
Okay.
Three
sticks
of each.
Yeah, 3 sticks. That's 6 sticks, please.
6 sticks.
6 sticks, 3 of each.
3 of each.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Stefan will say kebab sounds good. I'll have some of the shawarma. Rick, what do you want?
He glances up and he looks for how big the bite-sized ones are, and he says, "Some of those ones."
We'll take some of those ones. And I don't suppose you've got any falafel, have you?
There's a sort of frown that crosses the face. It's like, I'm not sure I know what that is.
Have you got any? Preferably not meat, but have you got anything that's spherical? Any spherical food here? Our friend is very much into they're on this diet where they can only eat spherical food. It's very weird.
That is an unusual diet.
I know, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's in sphere shape, then apparently they lose weight. Who knows?
I'm surprised you haven't heard of this diet. It's quite famous. It's going around.
Well, it sounds like it's around, yeah.
Amazing. It doesn't matter what, but preferably vegetable, and I kind of want a lot of them, like a bucket,
Bucket.
half a bucket.
I mean, what you're describing sounds to me like fruit.
You said, yeah. Have you got any soft
Get a
soft
bucket
fruit?
fruit.
Though? I don't want like something hard that's going to be hard for them to eat.
I mean,
Their
we
teeth
have
aren't that good.
tomatoes.
We'll take 2 buckets of tomatoes, please. If you can do such a quantity.
Buckets.
Well,
of
like
tomatoes.
small pails, not massive.
Small pails of tomatoes.
Yeah, thanks. That'd
You'd be amazed how unusual it is for people to order tomatoes by the bucket or even a small pail. Yes, I'm sure we can arrange that.
And Stefan looks over to Schreier and he says, "I read about this old festival once where the people gathered in the town and just threw tomatoes at each other. Quite incredible."
That does sound nice.
You're all right, Rick. You're looking a bit green. Are you going to make it?
Oh, I'm right up for this.
Good stuff. Have some of this meat on stick. That'll see you right.
Yeah, that'll sort all our aim out for sure. How much do I owe you?
My good man.
So that is how many sticks of meat are we going for?
6
Six
plus
each.
Whatever. Yeah. 6 each. Sure.
6 each.
So that's 18 plus plus 2 not very large buckets of tomatoes.
Quick, give Agnar a call.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the order.
That will be 48.
40. Oh, that's a really awkward number because now I've got to
Just...
go into the hundreds. It's all good.
Well, if you're making
Thousands
one,
even.
Kelly's just redeemed. Well, if you're making one, can I have some? Agnar, I don't think 6 could be enough. Stefan, can I get some more? Come on.
What? You don't think 6 sticks of meat is going to... yeah,
I'm
sure.
hungry,
Can we get
man, I'm
another 6,
hungry.
please?
I can't help it. It's late at night. I'm not eating all day.
Well, take 6 more, and I'll pay you for that as well.
You know what I'm like when I get peckish.
Well, I know.
Okay, that's a total of 58.
Okay, perfect.
That is 24 kebabs between the 3 of you.
I assumed if someone said if you're making one, we're gonna... I don't know. Maybe we should drop... Look, Stefan's got like handfuls of sticks with meat on. Maybe we should drop some of these in 2 arms, like with buckets on either crook. Maybe we should drop some of this meat back at the rooms and save it for breakfast.
They're not as big as the pictures make them look. We can get through these. Come on. Don't they always say the best thing to do is eat before you swim? Right? That's what they say, innit?
They do say that.
Yeah, it gives you the
Yeah,
energy.
eat a really heavy meal just before
gives
you
you the
swim.
energy to swim. Come, we'll build up an appetite for our swimming.
Okay, sure. Come on then, let's go. Here, look, take one of these buckets. I've got to have one free, like bendable arm to eat with.
I'll feed you. It'd be like those nights when you used to get really drunk down the student union.
Yeah, okay then, go on then. You take my 6 as well. You carry 12 sticks of meat.
Yeah,
Feed me 6. Let's go.
Let's go.
Don't get any on my toga.
as they go, Sarai gets her way through about 1.5 sticks of meat. And she sort of tries to feed Stefan a couple. She gets through 1.5, and she's like, oh, I'm full now. Nah. And she dumps her other 4 sticks in a bin.
Oh.
Oh, man. My eyes were bigger than my stomach. Man, that's
What
really...
Rick is cheerfully just nibbling his way through sticks of meat and eyeing the tomatoes.
There's people here in the pool seats that would kill for those meats on sticks.
No one in this cruise is poor. It's quite an expensive cruise. Come on.
That's true. But we could have taken them on somewhere.
All
right.
But if you want them, they're in the top of the bin, Stefan.
No, don't worry.
If you hate the waste so much, all I'm saying is, if that's going to be you, they're there. We can pick the bits of dirt off.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make a good gesture on the next planet we get to feed some people.
Okay.
You know, like when you go for a cup of tea and someone says, "What if you're making one?" and you make them one as well. You know, if we're out and about somewhere, I'll pay someone's bill. Feels like a good deed. Come on, let's go. We've got some hot tub mischief to embark on.
As they scurry along, Sarah's trying to feed Stefan the kebab, and after sort of a little while, she starts nibbling at his kebabs instead. As she's sort of feeding him them.
Sure. Yes, Rick has a very happy smile on his face as he nibbles meat on stick, and watches bucketfuls of tomatoes be transported to the hot tubs.
Mixing his element.
Rick, you've got a good throw on you as well. I'm looking forward to this, Rick. You're the man.
Hey, it'll be like the competition at the bars, but instead of
we can have our
someone
own
at the other end catching a buckyball,
yes,
we'll be trying to hit people on the heads.
Oh, it's going to be
good.
Yes, Rick is happily looking forward to throwing tomatoes.
And don't worry, Rick. There'll be no comeback from this because you're with management now.
Oh, we are management. You're right. I forgot about that, Stefan. We are the management now.
Well, that is how it goes. The buck stops with us, but also there is no blame.
The bucky ball stops with us.
The tomatoes stop with us.
Come on, let's get in. I need to get changed into my toga.
Toga. So, yes, you don't have very far to go. You can be at the hot tubs in 10 minutes.
But that's so far away. I'm tired. I need the loo. I'm hungry now.
It won't take long. We've got to get there. What else are you going to do? You're just going to stop here?
Oh, that chair's looking quite comfy.
Yeah, but there's no one, it's not very busy. There's no one walking past. Are you going to cause mischief on?
No, that's a good point.
How do you? What do you cause mischief to?
What do we?
On?
You? What?
Let's go.
Come on.
Okay, you make your way through to the hot tub section. Are you getting off at the bottom level and going up past the trio, or are you getting off in the middle section and heading back down towards the single overlook one?
It's a very good question. I'm not sure. I guess I'm thinking we'll get off at the first stop, just because Soraya's doesn't want to go far.
Yeah, come on, walk down.
We'll get off at the closest.
Walk up.
Yeah, the shortest distance, whether it be standing in a lift or walking. So we'll get up and walk down.
Okay.
And walk down.
All right. So you head down, and by the time you get down towards the single hot tub you've got there, Zoe is already sitting by the side of it and glances up at you and takes a look at, like, handfuls of meat on stick and 2 buckets of tomatoes, and she immediately thinks, this is going to end poorly. and rolls her eyes, but doesn't walk away or anything.
Hazel, we bought some snacks. Do you want to meat on a stick? I'm not sure what it is. It's meat.
Sure, I'll eat meat on stick. Thank you.
Hey Zoe,
We
Zoe,
figured-
nice to meet you.
She looks across and says, "Don't make me stab you with the stick. I don't want to do that."
We figured we'd bring snacks for the hardworking people, looking after our delegates.
Well, I think that's probably a good thing to do.
You are the Stefan. You are the main brunch man.
Yeah, God
we
of
didn't.
brunch.
We didn't really bring brunch, though,
the
did
master
we?
of the feast. You bought
At
a
this
feast, though.
point-
You did bring a feast.
Well, at this point, we've probably got 4 meat on sticks and 2 buckets of tomatoes to go around between, and he gestures out to all them. Are they there yet? Are they at the hot tubs?
The
The
diaspora are very much in their hot tub mode. Yes.
He'll gesture out to all of the people below them. How am I gonna make this go around all those people?
You'd need some kind of a miracle where you turn up with just a couple of meat on sticks and make it feed a
You
multitude.
can
Precisely.
stand up above them and make a big speech and like cast the food down to them.
I tell you what, though, could you?
I'm not getting John it this time of night. I think he's asleep.
Can you go back and get like 100 meat on sticks and somehow pass them to me behind my back, and I'll just keep pulling out meat on stick from behind my back?
Oh no, I don't like the sound of
It's
that.
a good miracle.
Go, just stick with the tomatoes. We don't want to outdo the Pope.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
don't want to cause problems.
You don't want to accidentally be made Pope.
Exactly. I've heard it's quite expensive to become the Pope, though.
It's, well, yeah, that's the most important thing. I don't think I've got the credits to make it that far.
True. Apparently, you get a good vineyard out of it, though.
I can believe it.
What do you think, Rick? Do you think we keep all this food to ourselves and use it to play the version of Buckyball, or with tomatoes, or do I go down and offer them brunch? A very odd brunch, but
Rick picks up a tomato and sort of judges the distance, and he says, "So how many points do you get for getting it in one of the hot tubs?"
well, there's 3 hot tubs, right? So you I'd assume that the middle one is worth more, and the 2 outer ones are worth less.
Sure, why not?
Which one's got
25, 50, 25.
Sarai looks over. She's sort of got her trousers. So she's just in like her nicks and her vest top, and she's like pulling her flag over and sort of tying it up as they're talking. And she's like, whichever one the Pope's in, surely that's the big money shot.
I like that. But if you hit a person who's not from the Baltic Star, it doesn't count for any points. You've got to get it in the water. Because then the Pope is the big money, right? But if you hit the Pope, then you don't get any points.
How about if you hit the Pope, you lose all your points?
It's like
Like the
bar billiards.
Like the black peg in bar billiards, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Pope hot tub at 100 points. Then 50-25 for those 2.
Yeah, I like it.
Don't hit the Pope or you lose all your points.
Yeah, 25 for the slightly emptier one. That's an easier shot, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pope, all your points go. Hit someone, you don't get any points. I like your thinking.
All right. So the rules of the game are you've got to throw in order to hit the hot tub water. But if you hit direct on the full a person, you don't get any points for it, even if it then drops into the water.
Yeah.
If you hit the Pope on the full,
Yeah.
you lose all of your points.
Yeah, quite rightly.
But
Yeah.
the the hot tub the Pope is currently in, whichever one it is, that water's worth double.
So anyone that's just joined, this is a fictional science fiction cult Pope, not the Pope. I don't want all the Catholics to march out in absolute fury at us.
It's worth noting for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think also, if you hit someone, Stefan will say, if you hit someone from the Baltic Star, it doesn't necessarily lose all your points. Maybe not right. If you hit Agnar, you don't lose all your points. But he's in the lowest, wherever he is, that's the lowest hot tub.
I'd say if you hit
wherever he's near.
If you hit Agnar, that's double points for that hot tub.
Oh, okay, that's fair. So if you hit Agnar and it bounces into any of the hot tubs, it's double points.
Double whatever it hits, yes.
Yeah, I like it. Do it. Go on, Rick. Show us how it's done. Oh, right. And remember, after each throw, we've all got to duck down so they don't see where it's coming from.
So Rick is going to take a pop at the middle hot tub.
Yeah.
Because he's working on the basis that since he currently doesn't have any points, now is the time to risk hitting the Pope.
Yeah, makes sense.
This is his logic. So he's going to throw with a -2 because he's quite merry at this point.
Also makes sense.
And it's going to be a straight dex with athletics dexterity for him. It's not great. I'm going to argue that it's sufficiently poor that he actually misses the hot tub, and I'm afraid it skitters away down the side.
Well, at least we don't need to duck this time. Hey, Rick.
Rick, you suck.
Don't worry, it's just a warm up. You're gauging your, setting your mark.
So who's next?
Well, after you, so.
Age before beauty.
Which one of us is that? I forget.
You're 3 weeks older than me, Stefan. Come on, you know that.
I'll take the age then. Okay, Stefan will go to make a throw.
All right, where's he going for?
He's gonna aim to. He'll do the same. He'll aim for the Pope hot tub.
Okay. So that's Dex plus Athletics Dex.
Which is right in his
an unfair advantage, Stefan. You're good at this.
It's not a bad roll either. That's a 9 plus 4. 13.
Okay. It's a clean hit straight into the water. Perfect. 50 points for Stefan.
And he ducks down really quickly after he's thrown it. Did it go in?
I don't know. Stefan, have you thought that this might really badly affect our relationship with the cult over the next week?
Are you saying we changed the parameters of the game?
No, I'm just saying that I'm going to try and hit the Pope.
Listen, I'm in two minds here because honestly, if they find out that we delayed the ship or that the girl going missing is our fault, they're probably going to be annoyed. In fact, even if they don't find out it's our fault, they're probably going to be annoyed at us anyway because we let it happen. But also, I don't want to annoy people, for no reason.
You watch
other
this.
Than maybe.
No. And while he's still talking, Soraya grabs up a tomato, winks at him, puts it into her wrong hand, her weaker hand, and wangs it straight towards the Pope.
With the intent to hit him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stefan's...
If it's your offhand, I'm going to give you a -2, and this is Dex plus Athletics Dex, please.
Ooh. Stefan's still down in the water, holding up his communicator, like trying to use it like a periscope. But he's only got one, so
I can envisage that.
It's not working at all.
Okay. Oh, I've actually got a 0 on Dex Athletics Dex. Okay, cool. So it's just a -2. Oh. 4 minus 2 is a 2.
Okay. If you were playing golf, that would be a lost ball. It lands nowhere near what you were aiming at.
She ducks down quickly. She says, I got him. Right between the eyes, Stefan.
Oh, he's going to be so mad.
He's going to be so mad.
Stop trying to angle his. How many points? Oh no, that's no. You lose all your points.
I had no points anyway. It was worth it.
Well, you lost them all now.
I'll get them back.
Hey Zoe, do you want to go?
And she nods and says, "Yeah, all right. So, how many points do I get for hitting Agnar?"
It's double. If you can bounce it into a pool, you get double the points.
All right. I'll give it a shot.
You know what they say? When in Rome. You know what the Pope says?
Stop it! You're going to upset people with this.
Sorry, it's totally different Pope.
It's a completely different Pope. It's Space Pope.
Space Pope.
She's going to take a pop at Agnar.
A lot of people want to.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's probably not good enough to actually hit him. It misses him by a few inches and skitters away down the slope.
Looking at things going on, are they aware of what's going on? Are they still caught up in his speech and their blissed out state? What's the vibe?
One or two of them seem to have spotted that there's an unusual amount of tomato velocity happening around them, but they don't seem to have yet connected it to any kind of concerted attack, partly because tomatoes are only arriving very intermittently.
Plus all the foliage around, you know. It could just be very large tomato plants dropping fruit from them.
Oh, the kebab! Survivor reaches down into the water and picks out a kebab and starts chewing on it. I was saving this one.
Oh, but if it needs reheating though, it's not a bad way to do it.
So frustrating. We haven't toga partied yet at all.
No, should we leave? Should we leave the game for a bit? Let's. I've still got some of my drink. Do we need others? Can we order drinks to the hot tub? Is that a thing?
I don't know. It's worth. Go and look on the internet. See if you can.
I'll check it out. I don't know. Is there an information point around or something, Ben, that Stefan can go check out?
Not actually on the slope itself, but there's one down at the bottom if you want to head down.
He'll take a meander down with a stick of meat and just go to look for hot tub services, I suppose.
Okay.
Not something he's going to search from his own device, but you know, if you're in the hot tub area.
All right.
Makes sense.
Stefan, wave to them. They still believe you're like the master of food.
On the way down, Zoe's going to have a throw at Stefan.
Oh. I mean, he can give it, but I'm not sure he can take it.
Oh, well, that's a bit more like it. Because that was a 12 plus her not bad dex.
Oh.
So Stefan takes a tomato to the back of his head as he's walking down.
He immediately looks back up at the hot tub and sees, mostly to see whether they all bother ducking down or not.
No, not at all.
I don't think Zoe would duck down having pelted Stefan. No, he was very much in on the tomato thing.
Yeah. And then he'll sort of peel what's left of the bulk of the tomato off the back of his head, stick it on the top of his meat on a stick, and hold it up to the hot tub that they are all in.
He hears a faint "Way!"
Yeah.
And then continues on.
Okay. It's only a few moments later that you arrive at one of the information general service kiosks. And it is indeed manned. There's a person there.
Good evening.
Hi.
I'm up in hot tub number, and he'll give off the number.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get some? Can we get drinks ordered to the hot tubs? Is that a service you provide?
It's certainly something we can do. Yes. The way it works is you'd order it from a specific vendor, and they will send someone along with it.
Oh, perfect. And I can set that up here.
Sure.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, that hot tub up there, I would like 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I get 8 mimosas sent to that hot tub, please?
Yes, absolutely. 8 mimosas.
And those 3 over there, and he'll get on his device to look up the hot tubs for the cult. I'd like to order brunch for, I suppose, 20 people. If there's something that would go with tomatoes, maybe some bruschetta or something along those lines, that would be useful. But if not, that's fine.
Sure. Something that goes with tomatoes.
Yeah, a brunch that goes with tomatoes. But hold the alcohol. I don't think they consume
Alcohol-free mimosas.
All right. So, eggs, perhaps?
Maybe not eggs. Maybe that's hard to say. Could you send up some omelettes? Could you send some omelettes to them? 20 omelettes, and some alcohol-free Bloody Marys going with the tomato theme. Just some tomato juice and Tabasco would be perfect.
Excellent. So 20 omelettes, 20 tomato juice.
Yep.
And you want 8 mimosas.
And then the 8 mimosas up to that other hot tub up there.
Okay. All right. That would be 140.
Whew. Bargain. Thank you very much. There we are. And take 20 for yourself as well.
Oh, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for your assistance. And he'll turn on his heels and stride off confidently, holding his meat and tomato on stick.
Back up to the top hot tub.
He'll pause for a minute. He'll turn around and say, "Do you know roughly how long that will take?"
Oh, it shouldn't be more than half an hour, I would think.
Okay, perfect. And he'll turn around and he'll head back up to the hot tub, the top hot tub.
All right. Okay. Can you make a dex roll, please, for me? Because this tomato you get to see coming.
With athletics dexterity.
Yes, with athletics dex and dex, so it's contested, if you see what I mean.
Indeed. Oh, that's a good roll. That's an 11 plus 4.
An excellent roll.
Pays to warm up your dice.
You see Zoe's arm, her elbow flash as she throws another one towards you. It's a pretty good throw. It would probably have caught you in the middle of the chest. But with that kind of roll, you can do whatever you like with it. You can catch it smartly in your fingers. You can do whatever.
Wonderful. He'll sort of he won't make a big deal about moving his head trying to find it. But he'll just stick out a hand and catch it one-handedly if he can.
Yeah, absolutely. You can
And
also
then,
throw it back, of course, if you'd like.
well, he thinks about it and then he just sticks it on the top of his meat on a stick and a meat on a stick and tomato, and sticks another tomato on the top and holds it up to the top.
Get in, my son!
Excellent stuff. Okay. Yes, additional round salad. So, yes, you make it back up to the hot tub, and everybody's sitting there, fairly relaxed, to be honest.
Oh, it's great down there. You can order pretty much anything from any food vendor, and they'll deliver it directly to your hot tub. I've got 8 mimosas coming. 2 are for me. You got to keep hold of them because I've also ordered a load of brunch for the people down there. So I'm going to head down and do the whole Lord of Brunch. What was it? Lord of Brunch, King of Brunch.
The bailiff of brunch, but that's Johnny.
Johnny's the bailiff.
He's the bailiff. I think you're the Lord of the Feast.
Lord of the Feast, that's the one. Thank you. Yep, I'm going to go down there and do a little bit of Lord of the Feasting, and then I'll come back up for my mimosas.
I appreciate that.
Okay. You make it down there. The Pope is still doing his ritual, which seems to be going on and on. There's a lot to it, but you'd get the feeling it isn't exactly fully formalized. He's just reading bits from his memory back and forth, making a big palaver out of things that he doesn't really need to. It's almost as if he's waiting for a key moment, and that hasn't happened yet. Like he's just holding the floor and killing time.
Is everybody else paying attention to him? Are they very much involved in?
They are very much paying attention to him. Yeah.
And can Stefan see the psionic child?
Yes. She's in the same hot tub as the Pope. And she's sitting pretty much face to face with him, some distance away.
Okay, cool. Stefan will pick someone on the outskirts and he'll tap them on the shoulder.
Okay. You immediately pick a person and tap them on the shoulder, and they look across to you with curiosity.
Pardon me, I'm sorry to interrupt, but for security purposes, we're unsure of how long this is going on. Is there a schedule to this, or does it finish when the need has been fulfilled, I suppose?
I don't think it has a specific end point. We're just going through a number of rituals and things that are common in our various observances.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry again to disturb you. Please continue, and he'll step back and sort of just he'll keep a look around, mostly for the brunch arriving, but he'll generally survey the area outside of the hot tubs.
Okay. As you move away, it's a relatively one-sided thing still. I mean, that the peoples do seem to be reacting a little bit to the speech, but it's all one-way traffic, really. The Pope is just doing his poping.
Popes do that.
Pope's gonna pope.
Pope's gonna pope. Exactly. Okay, yeah, and Stefan's happy to just keep an eye out. As I say, he'll wait for the arrival of brunch.
Okay. Are you keeping an eye on what's going on in that sort of set of diaspora hot tubs?
Yeah. He won't be necessarily looking at inside the hot tubs themselves because he figures that's kind of covered. But he'll be surveying the surrounding area, so people coming and going outside of the hot tubs. I guess I don't know how precise you want him to be, but he won't be paying attention to people inside the hot tubs per se.
Okay, can you roll a recon check for me, please, with intellect?
Yeah, I certainly can. Which is a flat 0, and that's not good. That's a 3.
Oh no!
It doesn't pay to warm your dice up in your pocket, people.
Okay.
You need the sticker.
All right. A total of 3.
They're going on the sticker in the rehab zone.
In the rehab zone. Get rid
All
of the
right.
rehab zone.
The others, I mean, in between their games, is Soraya going to be likely to also be trying to keep an eye on what's going on?
If I'm going to be really honest and not just gaming it, if I'm being really, really honest, Saraya's probably asleep in the hot tub.
Fair enough. Okay.
Snoozing
That's all
happily
right.
with meat half in her mouth.
Now, we know that Rose, Agnar, and Kat are loitering around the 3 diaspora hot tubs. So, can I have a roll for Agnar, please? For the same thing, recon.
Yes.
With intellect.
Yes. That's a 6 plus 1 is a 7.
Okay.
So I guess it depends where we're looking, but it's not good.
Glancing around, there's nothing in particular you notice. However, those at the top of the hot tub hear a loud shout from Zoe. And even as she shouts, she's drawing a weapon. And she yells out, "Gun, gun, gun!"
Ooh.
And this is probably loud enough to wake up Soraya. Certainly anyone who's in the upper hot tub who's not asleep will immediately, turn. And as you look down over the sort of lower part of the area, the direction she's facing, that's where we're going to call it for tonight.
Oh, Ben.
I'm looking forward to rolling survival at the start of next week.
Yep. That sounds like it'll be the first day.
Oh, what a cliffhanger.
Wow.
Good work, man. Just as we've been lured into a false sense of security by throwing tomatoes at a cult leader.
I have absolutely no problem with you guys having games where you pelt people with tomatoes, as long as you understand there is also actual danger on spaceships.
Yeah. I mean, I figure that Rose and Agnar and the team have been on the lookout for danger. Not very well, but they've been on the lookout.
As it turns out, none of them spotted it. It was entirely down to Zoe.
It's just the other half of the team that are occupying their time by throwing tomatoes at people.
It turns out it's the drunken idiots in the togas up at the top who've actually spotted what's going on. Yeah.
Well, not only that, but she's also a good shot. The only good shot with a tomato, as it would turn out.
To be fair, she tried it 3 times. She got one genuinely good hit and another one that was too easily dispatched.
Yeah, but it was on target, to be fair.
It was on target, yeah. It wasn't an amazing hit, but it was on target.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Ben. That was good fun.
Thank you, Ben. I already know a title for the episode as well.
Do you?
The one where Pope's going to Pope.
Pope's going to Pope.
Pope's
Yes.
going to Pope. It gotta be. I'm looking forward to that as well, Kelly. That's going to be the highlight. A battle scene done without a single drop of blood spilt.
But lots of ketchup.
Lots of ketchup, exactly. Oh, I'm injured. No, I'm not. Oh.
Got red on you.
We have Rose's cat for spares. Well,
Oh,
for
do
all
we?
of us,
Right.
but
Excellent.
hang on.
Better get the hat.
Better get the hat. The fishy hat up the geeks.
Oh yeah, the geek merch.
Geek merch.
Oh, I'm gonna make a geeks t-shirt or something for Thing Geeks. I want a geeks t-shirt.
That would be cool.
So I'm gonna make
One spring.
up the geeks.
Definitely.
Is it bad that I want a T-shirt that says Pope's going to Pope?
Pope's gonna Pope.
No, it's not bad at all.
Well, add the list on Discord. Merch that people want. I did Kelly's mug for her, so
I mean,
I'll make it.
I'm sure there are people who would see it as deeply blasphemous, but there are probably more people who would find it quite funny.
Oh, if you just joined, it's not the actual Pope.
No,
No.
different Pope. Space Pope.
Space Pope.
We're gonna have to put disclaimers on all of our Pope-related videos now.
Oh no, this is a very problematic video. We got the Star Wars music and everything floating around.
Oh God, yes.
I tried to stop it.
This is going to be the one where lawyers come after us and we end up in prison, isn't
First
it?
of 3 strikes this week. So.
Us three versus the Lucas Estate and the Pope.
Yeah, and now it's Disney's lawyers who are famously vampires, aren't they?
Oh, don't say that. They're making notes.
And also Disney.
Disney's a vampire. Is that the... Oh no.
But
Right.
also, I'd watch that Celebrity Deathmatch.
So, meanwhile, on the Baltic Star,
Oh, thank goodness.
Kronsorama was finally able to get some quality rest. There was not only a comfortable bunk for him to use, but also the opportunity to sleep in the dark, something he found much easier. And as he rested, he idly wondered how Caboodle was getting on in the care of Rachel Axis aboard the station. At that same moment, in a dark section of secondary concourse, Axis was standing looking at an even darker section of ceiling. She let her gaze follow a line down one side of the concourse until it merged with a subtle matte stripe running across the floor. In the middle of the floor, right on the line, was a pool of dried blood. A footstep behind her revealed the arrival of a security officer, and she turned to look at him. He nodded to the blood on the floor and said, "We left the stain in case it would give you a clue. So, was it the hollow that killed the man, you think?" Axis looked back at the scene, and as she examined it, she idly slapped a hand into her holdall so the kitten inside could play with her fingers. "I've never seen such a thing. It's possible, though, yes." The officer stepped up almost to the line on the floor and peered upwards to the matching line on the ceiling. "The lasers in these things, I mean, if you increase the power enough, lasers can kill." Axis nodded. "Sure, you could, but I doubt that happened here. Lasers in hollow systems form a fixed diffraction array. In order to get their power up high enough to hurt a person, you'd need to replace all the hardware. Hard to do that with any subtlety. But possible," the officer said, with a triumphant finality. He looked at Axis in the expectation that she'd confirm he was right. "Ow," said Axis in confirmation. Then it became clear she was actually responding to a particularly enthusiastic nibble from Caboodle in the holdall. After a moment, she said, "These things are really made of 3 parts. Lasers, a data system that contains the information to display, and a sound system. I'm interested in the sound system." A chuckle escaped the officer. "I think you'll find these particular hollows, because they show an image across the corridor that you can walk through, are just picture, no sound." Axis nodded and took her hand out of the holdall, now with a bundle of kitten curled around her fingers. She held up the kitten in front of the officer's face. Caboodle peered at the man with huge eyes. A cat might make an intentional sound, a call or a screech. But even if it never did, a cat still purrs. So does your hollow system. Even if it never produces any deliberate sound, it still makes sound waves. Without them, the whole system doesn't work. The officer looked baffled. Sir Axis shrugged. Caboodle, explain it to him. She held the kitten out close to his face, and immediately the cat purred loudly and reached a paw out to bat at his nose. The officer nodded slowly. I think I'm going to need a little bit more detail. There you go.
Ah, lovely.
That was quite clear. Caboodle giving some good science there.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, excellent. We need to get back to the Baltic. We need to get back to the Baltic Star. I'm missing the old thing. Every day.
After a year and a half. Ish.
Well, cheers, Sparrow. Thank you for redeeming it.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed A Rose's Cat, Henry. That was episode 40, believe it or not, of The Adventures of Rose's Cat.
My goodness.
It's almost getting to the point where we're going to need to season 2, Rose's Cat.
Rose's Cat season 2, my God, yes.
The catnip.
This time it's personal.
Oh no!
Exactly that.
But yes, thank you, Sparrow, for redeeming. Oh, in spite of all the bad puns.
All good puns tonight.
Yes, there are many bad puns, but then we do silliness in our stream to some extent.
Exactly. There are a lot of beans floating around, Spez. I think it's because we missed last week. It's been an absolute joy. And it's Hop Festival this weekend, so we're excited about going into town to drink beer tomorrow. So I'm assuming you guys are going in for at least a little bit.
Yeah, I've got to do my usual taking lunch to parents, but after that I shall be meandering about looking for street food and the opportunity to drink beer.
Oh, meat on sticks. That's what you need.
Meat on sticks, as you say.
A bucket of tomatoes.
If anyone can find a bucket of tomatoes, post a picture on the Discord, because it's going to be worth something.
That sounds like something you can actually make, though, right? By taking a bucket and putting tomatoes in it?
Yeah.
Still like it. Still get a like.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, definitely.
One tomato equals one like.
Likes per tomato, yes. Yeah, excellent. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. I hope you had some fun and didn't mind us being a bit silly in places. And we will catch you tomorrow night, hopefully, because we're doing Troika, aren't we, tomorrow night?
We are indeed, yes. I've drawn the proverbial short straw where I have to be relatively sober. I may go into a hot festival and come back, and who knows what's going to happen. But yes, that is the plan for tomorrow night, is to play some Troika. Session 2 of Troika, where we left off with Carl attempting to garrote a monkey non-lethally.
You make it sound so dodgy.
Non-lethal.
There's a nice reason behind it.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
The monkey is not our friend.
No, but you've not taken to him at all. I'm trying to calm things down with the garrotting. That's how bad things are.
Well, yeah, things escalated so much that Luke tried to calm things down by
Garrotting a monkey.
The mandrill. Yeah. But yes, that is tomorrow night, and then Monday we have more. It's not morose Monday. It's meditative Monday. Where Luke, what are you playing on Monday, Luke?
Meditative Monday. Oh, it's a new game.
Exactly.
It's exciting. Oh, you've confused me now. Hang on. It's called Twin Mirror. It's called Twin Mirror. It's a PS4 game. It's a narrative adventure game, developed and published by Don't Nod Entertainment. Don't Nod famously, of course, are the team behind Life is Strange. So you play some bloke and he sort of looks back at things in the past as he goes back to, I don't know. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a nice slower vibe.
Lovely.
I enjoyed After Party, I must admit, on Thursday.
That was really very engaging.
That was really good fun, I thought. So we've got a nice little double header on our Thursday and Monday at the minute. So yeah, so we'll do that for Meditative Monday.
Excellent. So hopefully catch some of you tomorrow night for some Troika with mad lifts full of mandrills, and occasionally very big cats. And
he's only mad because you shut his hand in the door.
No, he shut his hands in the door.
Yeah, through no fault
because he had a really, really lousy roll.
Yeah.
Oh, poor creature. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It's weird. I'm so confused with that game, and that's really good.
It's a bizarre game.
Is it though?
So confusing. It's so confusing. I don't get it at all, but I like it because of that.
Yeah, it is just that weird.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll throw a bit of caution to the wind and get weirder.
I'm sure there'll be an opportunity to turn myself into something even stranger than a gas mask.
You say that to me every night we go out, Ewan.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I have to say, Lucy transforming into a gas mask so that she can be worn by Carl was peak Boys from the Baltic Star role playing, I think. It sums us up in one scene.
Yeah, it probably does. Yes, you're right.
Right, we're going to raid. This is very exciting. So we never get to raid Infinite Monkey Tales because they go before us, and quite often when they finish, they raid us. No, they are done. Now, Croy VR, who always hangs around afterwards, and he listens to us while he plays No Man's Sky on VR. But he'll always hang around there, he'll chat in. He's a lovely guy. He today has been running a 24-hour stream where he's playing VR games for most of the 24 hours. And I popped in about lunchtime, and I popped in about 3 or 4 o'clock. And we're going to pop in now. And he's been raising money for a charity in Scotland. I can't remember which one. But he's got this charity stream, and he's been going through for 24 hours. So we're going to pop in. So it'll be lovely. He's playing Cube VR at the minute. So it'd be lovely to say hello. He can see the chat because he's got a little thing, a little app in it, so he can see the chat as he's playing. Cool. So it'd be nice to say because he's lovely and he supports us and he hangs around.
He really is an amazing guy. Yeah,
definitely. And to be fair, 24 hours of VR for anyone, I think, is quite the endurance. It's that's a lot of weird shifting space when your body isn't moving.
Exactly.
It's definitely give them some support.
So yeah, so cool. It'd be nice if we could get a few of us just to go there, at least for a few minutes, say hello, and then give them
that sounds brilliant.
So I'm creating the raid now, and we shall head over to Secret. Jump on, even if it's just for a minute or two, guys. That'd be really nice. Just give him a little bit of support. Right, let's go. Cheers, guys. We'll see you all tomorrow. Well, some of you, hopefully.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.